I've been telling stories, I guess, about 8 years here now. And it's been brought to my attention that a lot of my stories are about stupid shit I did when I was a kid. I once rode the super duper looper at Hershey Park, spread eagle across the hood like a prize buck on first day of hunting season. And sometimes I want to go back in time and I want to see that stupid kid and I want to grab him and I want to shake him and say, you know, when your mom's yelling at you for all this stupid shit you do, just smile and laugh and say, Mom, I love you. And one day I'm going to miss you very, very much. But if I don't do this stupid shit now, I won't have anything to talk about when I'm an old man. Tonight's story, I'm going to go back in time, way back, BC, before cable. Now, some of you youngsters may not know that there used to be, if you were very lucky, 4 channels on TV, ABC, CBS, NBC, PBS. Some of the cities had a little more, some of the country had a little less, but 4 was kind of the sweet spot. And then we heard about this thing called cable TV coming. And it promised not only additional channels, but movie channels that played movies just out of the theater, unedited, uninterrupted, which was revolutionary at the time. And there was this, I saw the channel at a friend's house. It was called Channel 100. And they played R-rated movies even in the middle of the day. And you know what that means. Naked boobies. This all happened when I was 12 years old. And I would do just about anything to see naked boobies, including steal cable. Now I know it's not very PC. I'm sorry. Cancel me if you must. But I am genetically predisposed to appreciate naked boobies. I am from a long line of naked boobie lovers. So it was inevitable that I would go after this new invention. Now, I asked my mom if she would take me to the state library in Harrisburg to do some research on a new project. Now, in her mind, she was imagining that I was having this renewed interest in schoolwork, and she would soon be the mother of a nuclear physicist or a surgeon, certainly not a cable thief who just wanted to see naked boobies. I found exactly what I was looking for at the state library. It was a book about, the transmission of broadcast signals on coaxial cable. And what I discovered was that if you laid a cable parallel to the company's cable, it actually transmits a signal for about a foot, foot and a half. And just by being parallel to it, my cable would pick up the same signal without me having to connect to any of the company's equipment. Thus, it wouldn't be stealing cable. And now you know why I'm not a lawyer. So I went to the local Radio Shack, got a couple of 100 feet of coax from the battery salesman there, and I proceeded to set out to do this plan. Now, I was fortunate because the cable didn't run in front of the house. It ran between the yards, my backyards, with the telephone cable. So that meant nobody would see me if I climbed up the pole. And next to the pole were 4 trees that I had climbed up hundreds of times. So I could literally go from tree to tree to tree without coming down and run the cable along the bundle of cables in the back. And that's what I did. I climbed up the pole, I put the cable in, and I climbed up the tree and put the cable in, moved on to the next tree, put the cable through, crawled across to the second tree, put the cable through, crawled across to the third tree, put the cable through. Now, the fourth tree was a little bit further out than the first three. So I was going to have to reach. And what I had not calculated was, between the ages of 11 and 12, I had a bit of a growth spurt. And I was now a foot taller and, 30 pounds heavier. So I'd go out on the branch, and the branch would fall a little bit. So I'd have to go further out on the branch, and it would fall a little bit. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to have to hold on and reach to make this happen. And I did about the stupidest thing I've ever done in my life. I took that loop of cable, put it around my head. You might as well just relax that bell finger for now. We're going to be here a while. So I take another step out on the branch, and crack! The branch drops about a foot. I go to grab the cable. It wraps around my hand and ties it to my neck. I am now balancing on the branch with 1 foot. This hand is flopping around, trying to make sure I don't fall. This foot is flopping around. I can't move this hand. But I had one thing going for me. I had read a lot of books as a kid. I read about the kid who pretended to be a pirate and went off to find treasure. I read about the kid who went to find his father in the Arctic Circle. But I also read about the kid in Maine who decided he was going to fight off the vampire invasion. And he went to fight the vampires, and they ended up, the vampire's assistant kidnapped him and tied him up with these S&M ropes. But the kid didn't lose his cool. He worked at the ropes, and he got his hands sweaty, and he got enough slack that he was able to get his hands out and escape. And that's what I had to do in that moment. I had to stay cool as I balanced on this branch. I had 1 big toe on one side of the branch and 4 toes on the other side. I was holding on to that branch like an orangutan as the cable slowly tightened around my neck. So I was able to bring this hand in and sneak the fingers up under the cable and then bring them around slowly and free this hand and pull it out and then hold on and then get the cable off of my neck. And that's when, crack! The branch gave way and I fell 20 feet to the ground. No cable around my neck. I thank the birds. I thank the trees. I thank the universe. And then I crawled back up and finished running the cable because nothing's more important than naked boobies. Finished running the cable, ran it down behind a downspout into the basement to this old black and white Zenith we had down there. Yes, I didn't even care. I wanted to see him in black and white. Hooked it up, and wouldn't you know, they had just started scrambling the signal. So the bottom of the screen was at the top of the screen was at the bottom, and in between was this big black line. You couldn't see anything, but I watched it anyway. Thank you.